Time does not rush. It unfolds, quietly, patiently, until even mountains forget their own names. Imagine standing at the edge of a world not yet born, yet inevitable, a world shaped not by days or years, but by 100 million years of silent change. The Earth you know today will not exist, not broken, not destroyed, simply transformed beyond recognition. The continents will no longer sit where they do now. The slow, relentless movement of tectonic plates will gather lands together once more, forming a new supercontinent. Oceans will shrink in some places and swell in others. Shores you recognize will vanish, replaced by new coastlines where waves whisper to unfamiliar land. What is now desert may become forest. What is now fertile may turn to dust. The sky, too, may feel different. The atmosphere will shift, subtly at first, then profoundly. Oxygen levels may rise or fall, reshaping the rhythm of life itself. The sun, slightly brighter than today, will cast a harsher light, warming the planet in ways no season can fully explain. Storms may grow stronger, winds more unpredictable, climates more extreme, yet balanced in a way only nature understands. Life will not disappear, it will adapt. The creatures of that distant future will not resemble the animals you know. Evolution will sculpt new forms, strange, resilient, unfamiliar. Some may walk where oceans once lay, others may soar through skies thicker or thinner than ours. Intelligence may take shapes we cannot imagine, or perhaps fade into silence again. The story of life will continue, but its characters will be entirely new. And what of humanity? Perhaps there will be no trace. Not because of failure, but because time moves forward without attachment. Cities will crumble, languages will vanish, and even the strongest monuments will dissolve into the soil. The marks we leave behind will be whispers, buried deep within layers of rock, waiting for no one. This is not a vision meant to frighten, but to awaken perspective. What feels permanent is only temporary. What seems vast is only a moment. The Earth does not belong to us, we are a brief chapter in its endless story. So when you look at the ground beneath your feet, understand this: it is not fixed. It is moving, changing, becoming something else, slowly, silently, inevitably. And one day, far beyond memory, this familiar world will be gone, replaced by one that does not remember us at all. Yet there is a quiet beauty in that truth. Because change is not loss, it is continuation. The Earth will not end, it will simply become something new. Earth will transform completely over 100 million years. The planet won't be destroyed but reshaped. Continents, oceans, and landscapes will look entirely different. The Earth you know today feels solid, familiar, almost permanent beneath your feet. Mountains seem eternal, oceans seem fixed, and the shape of the world appears unchanging within the span of a human life. But this sense of stability is only an illusion created by the shortness of our perception. Over the course of 100 million years, the planet will undergo a transformation so vast that nothing recognizable will remain as it is now. This change will not come through sudden destruction, but through slow, patient forces that never stop moving. The land itself is constantly shifting. What you stand on today is part of a massive, drifting puzzle of tectonic plates, sliding over the Earth's mantle at a pace too slow to notice in a lifetime, yet unstoppable across deep time. Continents will collide, break apart, and merge again, forming entirely new landmasses. Familiar countries, borders, and maps will lose all meaning. Places that are now separated by oceans may one day be joined, while current neighbors may drift far apart into isolation. The oceans will also reshape themselves. Some will close as land pushes together, while new ones will open where the Earth's crust splits apart. Coastlines will vanish and reappear in unfamiliar forms, erasing the geography we know today. Entire regions may rise into mountains or sink beneath the sea, rewriting the face of the planet again and again. Even the surface itself will not stay the same. Erosion will wear down towering peaks, while volcanic activity will create new ones. Over immense stretches of time, every visible feature of today's Earth will be recycled, reshaped, and replaced. What feels permanent now is only a temporary arrangement, a fleeting moment in the planet's long and ever-changing story. Continents will merge again. Tectonic plate movement will likely form a new supercontinent, changing coastlines, climates, and geographical boundaries. Beneath the stillness of the ground, there is a quiet motion that never stops. The continents you see on a map are not fixed pieces, they are fragments of a vast shifting surface, drifting slowly over the molten layers below. This movement is so gradual that it escapes human notice, yet over millions of years it becomes a force powerful enough to reshape the entire planet. The lands we know today, separate, distant, divided by oceans, are only passing arrangements in a much longer cycle. 100 million years, these drifting continents will begin to gather once more. Oceans that now seem endless will slowly narrow as land pushes inward from all sides. The seafloor itself will sink beneath advancing plates, disappearing into the depths, while edges of continents will crumple and rise. Where vast waters once existed, mountains may emerge, formed by immense pressure as land collides with land. This is how the Earth breathes, closing one space while creating another. Eventually, much of the world's land could unite into a single massive supercontinent. It will not resemble anything we recognize. The shape will be unfamiliar, the distances immense, and the interior regions may become harsh and dry, far from the cooling influence of oceans. Coastal areas might experience powerful storms and shifting tides, while the center of this giant landmass could become a place of extremes. Intense heat by day, deep cold by night. At the same time, new oceans may begin to form elsewhere. As the Earth's crust stretches and cracks under internal pressure, rifts will open, allowing magma to rise and create new seafloors. Slowly, water will fill these gaps, giving birth to oceans where none existed before. What was once solid ground will be divided again, continuing the endless cycle of separation and reunion. This process has happened before and will happen again, not with urgency, but with quiet certainty. The continents are not lost or found, they are simply rearranged. What we call geography today is only a temporary pattern, a brief pause in a journey that has no final destination. Climate and atmosphere will shift, the sun will grow slightly brighter, and atmospheric changes will create new weather patterns, possibly more extreme than today. Life will evolve into new forms. Plants and animals will adapt and evolve into unfamiliar species, continuing life's story in ways we can't fully imagine. Life on Earth is often imagined as a fixed collection of familiar species, but in reality it is a constantly changing process shaped by time. Nothing alive today is permanent in its form. Every organism is a result of millions of years of adaptation, and over 100 million more years, this transformation will continue in ways that are almost impossible to imagine from the present moment. As the planet's climate, atmosphere, and geography shift, life will respond. Species that exist today will not remain unchanged. Some will adapt slowly, modifying their bodies, behaviors, and survival strategies to match new environments. Others will not survive the pressure of change and will disappear entirely. In their place, new forms of life will emerge, shaped by different conditions and challenges. Animals may evolve in ways that seem strange by today's standards. Creatures adapted to extreme heat, deep oceans, or vast new supercontinents may dominate the planet. Some may grow larger to survive harsher environments, while others may become smaller and more efficient. Mobility, intelligence, and survival instincts will all be reshaped by necessity rather than choice. What once lived in forests or oceans may find itself adapted to deserts, mountains, or entirely new ecosystems that do not exist today. Plants will change as well, responding to shifts in temperature, rainfall, and soil composition. Forests may move across continents as climates shift, and entirely new types of vegetation could emerge in areas that are now barren or frozen. The green world will not disappear, but it will not remain the same either. Evolution does not follow a straight path or a final destination. It is a continuous process of adjustment, guided by survival rather than design. Over immense stretches of time, life becomes a reflection of its environment, always adapting, always reshaping itself to fit new conditions. In this distant future Earth, the living world will still thrive, but it will no longer resemble what we know today. It will be a different chapter in the same endless story of change. Humanity may leave no trace over such vast time. Human civilizations, cities, and achievements may disappear, leaving only faint geological evidence behind. Human presence on Earth feels significant because it is immediate to us, but time does not measure importance in moments. Over 100 million years, the traces of civilizations, no matter how advanced or widespread, will be reduced to faint impressions within the layers of the planet. What seems permanent today is only temporary when viewed across such vast scales. Cities that rise with steel, glass, and concrete are not designed to withstand the slow pressure of geological time. Without maintenance, they decay. Without human care, they collapse. As centuries turn into millennia, structures crumble, metals corrode, and stone is broken down by wind, rain, and shifting ground. Rivers change course, coastlines move, and forests reclaim what was once cleared. Eventually, even the largest cities become buried beneath soil and sediment, hidden from view and absorbed into the natural cycle of the earth. Over millions of years, these remnants are further transformed. Layers of rock form over them, compressing and altering their shape. What once were roads, buildings, and monuments become indistinct patterns in stone, difficult to recognize or interpret. Future processes of erosion, volcanic activity, and plate movement may scatter even these traces, making them fragmentary and rare. Languages, cultures, and histories which depend on continuity and memory cannot survive without carriers. As generations pass and civilizations fade, knowledge is lost or transformed beyond recognition. What remains is not identity but evidence, small scattered clues that something once existed here. Yet this disappearance is not unique to humanity. It is part of the natural rhythm of the planet. Countless species and environments have risen and fallen long before humans appeared, leaving behind only fossils and geological signatures. Humanity, too, will eventually become part of this deep archive. In the distant future, Earth will continue its journey without remembering us, not out of neglect, but because time moves forward without attachment. What we leave behind will not be erased violently. It will simply be absorbed slowly and completely into the evolving story of the planet.